But we just give her some money now, and then right away a man come beg him just take it back from me, borrow from you if you give a man that. And then it's that.
Well, let me tell you, Dennis Brown is our Michael Jackson of the Caribbean.
Well, I can tell you something where you might not know. Dennis Brown was Bob Marley's favorite artist. See? Because everywhere I toured with D Brown, some reason or the other, including that tour that I spoke about a while ago, Bob Marley turned up. You understand? Bob Marley himself loved Dennis Brown. So, we know say Bob had a skip, but Dennis Brown was the Jamaican.
Dennis Emmanuel Brown, a legendary figure in the world of reggae music, was born on February 1st, 1957, at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital in Kingston, Jamaica. Dennis grew up in a bustling tenement yard located between North Street and King Street in Kingston. He was the son of Arthur Brown, a scriptwriter, actor, and journalist. While he had a happy upbringing, he experienced the loss of his mother during the 1960s. Dennis's journey into music began at the age of 9, performing at an end-of-term school concert. His love for music had been fostered since childhood, inspired by American balladeers like Brooke Benton, Sam Cooke, Frank Sinatra, and Dean Martin. Brown considered Nat King Cole one of his earliest influences. In his youth, Dennis often frequented JJ's record store on Orange Street, immersing himself in the vibrant rocksteady era. He would sing in yards, and neighbors would toss pennies his way. At just 11 years old, Dennis made his first professional appearance at a local nightclub called Tit for Tat. It was here that he joined the Fabulous Falcons, a resident group that included talents like Cynthia Richards and David Scotty Scott. At a JLP conference at the National Arena, he performed 2 songs, Desmond Decker's Unity and Johnny Taylor's Ain't That Loving You. The audience showered him with money, enabling him to buy his first suit. Band leader Byron Lee, who was also on the same bill, recognized Dennis's talent and booked him for package shows featuring visiting U.S. artists, dubbing him the Boy Wonder. Dennis Brown's early influences included reggae luminaries like Delroy Wilson, Errol Dunkley, John Holt, Ken Booth, and Bob Andy. Brown's first recording was an original song called Lips of Wine for producer Derek Harriott, but when this was not released, he recorded for Clement Coxone Dodd's Studio One label, and his first session yielded the single No Man is an Island, recorded when Brown was age 12 and released in late 1969. The single received steadily increasing airplay for almost a year before becoming a huge hit throughout Jamaica. Brown recorded up to a dozen sessions for Dodd, amounting to around 30 songs, and also worked as a backing singer on sessions by other artists, including providing harmonies along with Horace Andy and Larry Marshall on Alton Ellis's Sunday Coming album. Brown was advised by fellow Studio One artist Ellis to learn guitar to help with his songwriting, and after convincing Dodd to buy him an instrument, was taught the basics by Ellis. These Studio One recordings were collected on 2 albums, No Man is an Island and If I Follow My Heart, the title track penned by Alton Ellis, although Brown had left Studio One before either was released. He went on to record for several producers, including Lloyd Daly, Baby Don't Do It, and Things in Life, Prince Buster, One Day Soon, and If I Had the World, and Phil Pratt, Black Magic Woman, Let Love In, and What About the Half, before returning to work with Derek Harriott, recording a string of popular singles including Silhouettes, Concentration, He Can't Spell, and Musical Heatwave, with the pick of these tracks collected on the Super Reggae and Soul Hits album in 1973. Brown also recorded for Vincent Randy, Chin, Cheater, Dennis Al Capone, I Was Lonely, and Herman Chin Loy, It's Too Late, and Song My Mother Used to Sing, among others, with Brown still at school at this stage of his career. In 1972, Dennis Brown's international breakthrough came when he recorded Money in My Pocket for Joe Gibbs. This track resonated with UK reggae audiences and became one of his signature songs. Dennis's career reached new heights when he performed at the One Love Peace concert in Kingston in 1978, a historic event that featured him alongside other reggae legends. Despite his commercial success, Dennis Brown faced personal challenges, including health issues exacerbated by drug addiction. In 1973, Brown was hospitalized due to fatigue caused by overwork. At the time, rumors spread that he only had one lung and had only a week to live, or had contracted tuberculosis. Brown was advised to take an extended break from performing. In late summer 1974, Dennis Brown made a return to music and embarked on his first ever tour of the United Kingdom as part of a Jamaican showcase. This showcase featured other notable artists like Cynthia Richards, Al Brown, Sharon Forrester, and the Maytals. During this UK tour, Dennis was backed by the Cimarrons and decided to extend his stay, remaining in the UK for an additional 3 months. While in the UK, Dennis recorded new music for the first time since his hospitalization. He collaborated with producer Sidney Crooks and once again had the support of the Cimarrons as his backing band. This period also saw the release of his first single in the UK, No More Will I Roam, which was issued on the Cinda label. He returned to Jamaica for Christmas, but 6 weeks later was back in the UK. Dennis, accompanied by his business manager, Niney Holness, returned to the UK to negotiate a record deal with Trojan Records. This collaboration led to the release of his album Just Dennis. Unfortunately, their efforts were financially strained due to Trojan Records' subsequent collapse and purchase by Saga Records. Back in Jamaica, Dennis and Holness resumed recording, working on tracks for a new album, including notable songs like So Long Rastafari, Boasting, and Open the Gate. Throughout 1975, Dennis also recorded one-off sessions for Sonia Pottinger and Bunny Lee. These recordings marked the beginning of Dennis Brown's venture into his own Deb music label. In early 1976, Castro secured a deal with Radio London disc jockey Charlie Gillette for DEB output to be issued through Oval Records, thanks to a distribution deal with Virgin Records. However, this arrangement faced complications due to a dispute over separate supply channels to London record shops, leading to a lack of promotion for Debbie's early releases. During the same year, Dennis recorded 2 tracks at Lee Scratch Perry's Black Ark studio, with Wolf and Leopard becoming a hit in Jamaica, addressing issues with those who opportunistically associated with Rastafarian culture. In an interview with Black Echoes, Dennis Brown expressed his decision to part ways with Nene Holness, citing creative differences and a desire to produce his music. Dennis resumed collaboration with Joe Gibbs, leading to the release of the successful album Visions of Dennis Brown in 1977, featuring songs like Repatriation, Ja Can Do It, and covers of Earl 16's Malcolm X and Clive Hunt's Milk and Honey. The album achieved acclaim and became a significant milestone in Dennis Brown's career, solidifying his status as a mature artist. Despite the closure of Debbie Music in 1979, Dennis continued to work with various producers and released singles like The Little Village and Do I Worry in 1981. He then signed an international deal with A&M Records in 1981, releasing albums like Foul Play, Love Has Found Its Way, and The Prophet Rides Again. Although his association with A&M Records took a more commercial pop direction, Dennis actively adapted to the evolving dancehall era in Kingston. In the early 1980s, Dennis also founded Yvonne's Special, a label dedicated to his wife. He collaborated with artists like Gregory Isaacs and released successful albums such as Too Bad Superstars Meet and Judge Not in the mid-1980s. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Dennis Brown maintained a prolific recording career, with notable albums like The Exit, 1986, and Unchallenged, 1989. He continued to contribute to reggae music and was nominated for a Grammy Award for his 1994 album Light My Fire and his final album Let Me Be the One in 2001. Brown's health began to deteriorate. He was diagnosed with pneumonia after touring in Brazil in May 1999. On the evening of June 30th, 1999, after returning to Kingston, Jamaica, Dennis suffered a cardiac arrest and was rushed to Kingston's University Hospital. Unfortunately, he passed away the following day, officially attributed to a collapsed lung. Dennis Brown's funeral took place on July 17, 1999, in Kingston, where notable figures such as Prime Minister P.J. Patterson and former Prime Minister Edward Seaga paid their respects. The service featured live performances by Maxi Priest, Shaggy, and 3 of Dennis's sons. He was laid to rest at Kingston's National Heroes Park. Dennis Brown's legacy lives on through his timeless music, which continues to touch the hearts and minds of people around the world. His contributions to reggae music are celebrated, and his lyrics continue to resonate with audiences, carrying the spirit of his heartfelt singing.
Your music is you. You live forever because you are always on our mind. One love.
No, not from whence.
No general to end up in a funeral. man, come away from the Mississippi. Evil man, come away from the sinking sand. For the world and the river just keep rolling. Oh, that river. To the promised land.